Okay, so looks like we started a new stream, but I don't know. Is that what it was? Wanted to put something over there.
No, I'm moving those birds.
Okay.
I'm moving them. They are getting moved after the show.
Okay.
Just saying.
Carrie Gonzalez, hello. How are you, my friend? Okay.
There we go.
There we go. There's everybody. Common Sense University without a degree. What's going on? I think the other stream got stopped by YouTube. Hey, can you scratch my back, please? Like right in Maine and the New Englands. Jersey. Go to Jersey. Oh, yeah, right there. I think we're back. I don't know. Get hit more in Pennsylvania. There you go. Ooh. That's how we scratch each other's back. We just imagine that the United States of America is on.
We got booted out and it redirected us to another channel.
What channel?
Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. We are having growing pains. We talk about all these different birds that we were going to have, and we're at that point where we have to process some birds to make room for more.
Single day! I'm not even talking to him right now. He's been down here twice and has not.
I know. I thought he was supposed to call you the last time.
Don't matter. I'll catch you on the way home. Homie been home. Back down here. Home. Back down here.
No, so basically what's happened is we have all of these birds still in the brooding area in our house, and it happens to be the same area where our Wi-Fi and our cable router and all that stuff. And so I guess we're in that teenage froggy stage where everybody wants to try and jump out of where they're at.
No, it's not. It's the crisscross stage.
Oh, crisscross will make you
jump.
So with the crane move.
No, speaking of the crane move, that's gonna be coming up
that'll
soon.
be in that new video. Robyn, I did call him.
No, you did not call me. You poloed me. Huge difference, homie.
So, and we also, I don't know how many of y'all have seen the pictures, but we have ducklings now too. So we weren't even counting on them.
Yep.
So now we have like 20 little laying birds in there, and like 100 meat birds, and like 10 ducklings.
Yeah. And to be honest, one of the things that when Robyn's talking about growing pains, what she's talking about is we are basically kind of revamping our homestead, our layout, the things that we're kind of doing here now. And we're probably going to do a video on it because we kind of drew it out over here on this whiteboard, how we want things to run and what basically our 5-year plan that, we want our homestead to kind of look like what's up on this whiteboard right now in 5 years. And we want to have certain livestock on property. We want to have certain infrastructures on property, certain things on property. And
Chris, I'm going to have to send you a picture soon.
Yeah.
Should I send you 50 turkey chicks? Sure. I'll take them. I will make room, Lost Dude. I'm just telling you, I have a problem. It is very much a problem. If it is a bird or a plant, I can't say no. I'm just a fool who can't say no. Sorry. That's That's from Oklahoma.
I know what it's from. But
Robyn needs peacocks.
you know, D, I'm just gonna put this out.
Kinfolk, what's up?
D, that Christmas present that you got from us, she didn't want to do it. That was all me. I'm just saying. And you're gonna support her.
Okay. Emus.
You guys.
You know, there's a guy down the road from us. Well, when I say down the road, like 20 minutes from us, that has emus, right? Isn't it an emu that he has?
I don't know, but I think I'd like to get emus one
Yeah.
day. Do you guys ever feed pigs fish?
I don't think so, because we normally eat all the fish before we feed it
Yeah.
to them.
Yeah, so I don't think we have.
I don't think we've ever given
And
fish.
when we catch wild fish, I take the fish heads, the backbones, the guts, and whatever, and I make my own trapping oil lure from the fish. So no, I don't think we ever have feed. Islands are probably going to take a while.
Yeah.
They have gone way up in price. Will it hurt them? I don't think
I don't
so.
imagine that it would, but I wouldn't give them a lot.
Yeah.
I would think, like, I think people give fish oil, like, as part of, like, a supplement for, like,
Yeah.
I've heard of that. So, I think in small amounts, maybe. I just worry about, because
the
they have,
bones.
yeah.
Here's the thing. Pigs are omnivores, just like us.
Mm-hmm.
They can pretty much eat anything. They know what they can
will
and
eat anything.
can't do. Like with citrus, they won't eat citrus.
They stomp it
They
into
just
the
stomp
ground.
it into the ground. So,
Yeah.
there's your thing, David. I don't necessarily. I would not. Personally, I probably wouldn't, because I use so much of the fish.
Mm-hmm.
For my own personal stuff with trapping and different things like that. So
Yeah. Jonathan, that'll be this week. We're going to put out a video
yes,
on all of this stuff.
He's coming. Well, when is? I don't know when he's coming to pick it up, but
Yeah. We're gonna keep using it until he does.
Yeah, and we'll basically be able to hopefully, he may not come this week, and if he doesn't come this week, we're not. We won't have that video out this week because we kind of want to end the video with us handing it.
Oh, is
back
that
over
what you
to
want
him.
to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, Chris. That the better place for fish would probably be in your compost or in your garden, because all of the bone meal and stuff like that. That's
Now, if we have a broiler die or a chicken die,
we'll talk. Yeah.
we'll toss that to them.
Mm-hmm.
As long as we know it
tear
came
'em
from
up.
us.
Yeah.
And they'll take care of business. Because in all honesty, if you have little chicks or chickens that get into their pen area, they will eat
We've
them.
had that happen.
We've had that happen. They will scoop.
They like
they're
it's
like,
like
"Oh,
chicken nuggets.
It's not delivery. It's KFC.
Yeah.
And they will.
And let me tell you, that happened, like, we were still very early in on our homesteading journey, and we were super excited that we had hatched out these, like, we'd hatched them out, we had kept them inside the brooder to keep them nice and, get them nice and feathered out and ready. We put them in a enclosure, and the fencing that we were using was like the welded wire, and we didn't think about the fact that the openings were wide enough for them to get through, and so they literally like walked straight through, and with like 10 feet from there they went right into the pig pen, and it was like we were like, what just happened? Like, what did we just see? It was horrible.
David says he has a pet skunk and it's getting big. Now, see, I heard that if because when you get a skunk young, you can have the scent glands removed, and so that way it can't spray. And I heard they are better
than cats.
pets than cats.
Yeah, I've
because,
heard that.
Cats are from the devil. And so a skunk will be more affectionate and loving.
So Windswept says they'll eat almost anything you put in front of them. No rhubarb, citrus, or meat. Ours will eat meat. And I mean, I know that, we don't typically give them a lot of meats. It's usually mostly veg. But it does occasionally.
Like
they do occasionally get. And it's not usually raw either.
Yeah, because they'll eat their own stillborn babies before you can get in there and clean them out. So.
Yeah, my mom always buried the fish scraps in the garden.
Yeah, and it's good to do that, put them in the garden because they'll help prevent bottom end rot and all kinds of stuff. It adds calcium to your soils. Yeah, the calcium
from the bones.
Just like all of you hunters and stuff out there, when you take your bones and you make your bone broth and stuff like that from your deer or even from, like coyotes and stuff like that. Now, granted, you'd have to put your coyotes in your black soldier fly bin, let them eat all the meat, but then take those bones and put them in your garden. It adds calcium back to your garden, so it will help prevent the bottom end rot.
Yeah.
So
I'm actually going to try some of my potassium water here pretty soon.
Yeah.
I can't wait to give y'all another garden tour because I'm going to tell you what. Those rescued plants, you would have never guessed
that they would do this good.
I would have never guessed that if I had showed you those plants, you would have thought I either planted them or bought them at a premium price when I got them.
Yeah.
They're massive. They're like, each plant is like almost my arm's width. Like, it's pretty much crazy. I'm the one that had the blind pig. It's doing great.
Now, Chris, single dad, he is absolute. I'll agree with his statement minus the Asian food. Even though I probably ate it in Okinawa and Korea and Thailand and all that, but we're not going to put that out there. Casper. Unbeknownst to us, Carol adopted a cat.
But wasn't it a kitten?
It was a kitten. It was a kitten, and she snuck out like some of the raw milk and a lot of my raccoon bait because I use dry cat food.
Yeah. Because you went to go bait. You're like, go grab my bucket so I could set this bait station up. And I was like, what? Okay. So we went out there, and he's like, there should be a full bag of cat food in there. And I was like, okay. There's no cat food. Yeah. It was gone.
Because I'll use the dry cat food to catch raccoons in the coon cuffs, and I'll use the canned cat food to catch skunks.
Yeah.
In a log trap, in a cage trap. But anyway, so she raised this cat up and called it Casper. Well, Casper's been full grown and it's been work. He has earned his keep here.
Yes.
She has earned her keep.
So until earlier this week, we thought it was a he.
Yeah, we thought it was a he.
Right. And
Carol
he was doing a very good job taking care of all of the mice and everything that would come from over here and from over there.
Mice and the population was going down. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, Carol went out because the blackberries are coming in, raspberries are coming in. Mm-hmm. And we're just out there picking like fools.
Yeah.
And so Carol came in and she's like, well, Casper's actually a girl. And
the best part, the best part was you're like, did you know that Casper was a girl? And I was like, no. And I was like, please don't tell me she's had kittens. And he's like, I mean, I could not tell you, but it's not going to change anything.
I could not tell you that she had kittens, but it ain't going to change the fact.
So now apparently there are little kittens running around.
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 little kittens running around. And so once Carol gets
them
acclimated, earns their trust.
Hey, Stacy, what's up?
We're probably going to catch them, and we will have kittens to give away. I'm not charging for these kittens. I'm not doing a rehoming fee. But I can tell you they come from good stock as barn, as mousers, because every time I see Casper, she'll have a rat, a chipmunk, a field mouse, a field rat.
And she doesn't mess with our birds
at
all, because we have a broiler that keeps getting out. And she will walk right patch. She leaves them alone. She doesn't mess with the
Yeah.
birds. She doesn't mess with the goats, the pig. Like, she doesn't mess with any of our livestock.
Yeah. Now she's very snooty type cat. She sees us, she'll look back at us and be like, "Morning, Casper," and she'll boogity boogity boogity.
Yep.
You know, but I'll be 100% honest. You know, I was expecting when I bush hogged that front field
Yeah, to
to
bounce
have
a bunch.
a bunch of field mice
Yeah.
jump. I ain't never seen
None.
one.
Yeah.
So she's been on point, and she
Yeah.
can stay as long as she wants.
wants.
Because I know for a fact next door they're starting to do more remodeling and stuff, and that house
We may want to
and
look into getting her fixed.
house and barn
Or, yeah.
are infested with Norway
they haven't
rats.
been-
Yeah, because
no
nobody's
one's
been living
living
in it, and so there's been stuff back in that barn probably since the Reagan administration.
Mm-hmm.
And so now as they're going in there and cleaning everything out, of course they're chasing
Right.
the rats, and they either go into the street
And get
Or-
run over.
or
they
over
come
to
to
my
our
property.
place. Sometimes the pigs will get them. They'll stomp them. I've seen them, like, stomp on them.
Yeah, I haven't
Mhm.
seen that.
Yeah.
You know, because we used to have Charlie. Now I have not seen. I'm a little worried because I have not seen Charlie all summer so far. And Charlie is our king snake
King snake.
that we've adopted,
Mm-hmm.
and Charlie and I
Have an understanding.
have an understanding. Charlie has free range to eat the other snakes, the mice, the rats, chipmunks,
Right.
squirrels, rabbits, whatever he can catch, as long as he leaves eggs,
Chicks.
chicks, and birds
Mhm.
alone.
Yep.
And Charlie's probably about 12 foot long now.
Yeah, he's massive.
Huge. Last
Mhm.
time I saw him, and it was a great because in the wintertime he would actually come into my shop, and I
Yeah.
put one of them long 10-foot tubes, PVC tubes, pipes, in my one back corner of my shop up on the
Yeah.
metal rack, and he would go in there, and I
Just
basically made it just almost like a Charlie size like rat trap. It was like a big 3-inch pipe.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the old gray electrical one, or what they gray is now electric. I don't know
Right.
what it was back then.
Yeah.
This could have very well been for a sewer pipe or something. But I put it up there and I zip tie it to the rack, and Charlie would crawl up and in there,
And he just wait.
and he would just wait because the rats and mice would come running down the wall and run right into that tube, and Charlie would be like, ha ha, get him. The reason why I know he was about 12 foot, because last time I seen him, there was about 2 foot of
Hanging
him
off of the
hanging off
pipe,
the
yeah.
end. Yeah.
Yeah, so, but we had a different visitor today. And I'm going to tell you, Jason always talks about, he's all big and bad. I'm not running for anything unless it's a lot of money or it's to beat you, to get away from danger or whatever.
I say I run for only 3 reasons.
3 reasons.
Well, really 2 reasons. Well, 3 reasons because I'm married. 1, to escape serious bodily harm that I cannot shoot or fight my way out of.
Right.
2, to protect or save my wife and children or close friends.
Mm-hmm.
Or 3, to beat any of y'all to a large sum of money. Now, that large sum of money has to be within about 500 yards. Anything over 500 yards,
Forget it.
I'm not really running. Y'all can have it.
So
Money's not that
today we were coming back outside, and no, Ladessa came inside and she was like, "Dad, snake!" And Jason was like, "Okay, grab the, what do you want me to do?"
No, my first thing was like, is it Charlie?
Yeah.
No. And it's eating the guinea eggs.
And man, Jason's like, he was like, took off, and I was like, "Holy crap! I haven't seen you run like that in a while."
Well, look, I like guinea babies because they got them bright orange construction cone feet, and they do this little.
Yeah,
they
are super cute.
Yeah.
And our one guinea hen is sitting on a load of eggs.
And we're down to 2 guineas.
No, there's 3.
No, Sir Limps got taken out, and then when Travis was here to put his deposit down on the beef, one got attacked by a hawk that morning.
What?
And lost the fight. Yeah, I thought the girls told you that.
No.
Yeah, right over there by the old turkey pen. It come down, and I guess they was going at it, but it got stuck in the side.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man. We need you to be shooting better, brother, because neither one of us is running. Yeah. So, anyway, so we got over there, and Jason grabbed the axe. She must have, like, started to try and peck at him. And
He had, like, one, like, almost in his mouth, and we pulled the
Like
snake out a little
yeah.
bit. He was a big, honking...
he looked like he was about, like, that wide.
Yeah.
Like...
And I couldn't... And the reason why I hit him with the axe is because I couldn't tell if he was a moccasin or a rat snake, because their coloring and patterning is similar.
Yeah.
And with his head expanded out like that to get that egg, I couldn't
tell.
really tell. And he had his eyes closed, so I couldn't look for the slit. And so I just whacked him anyway, because obviously if he was a rat snake, somebody did not inform him
Of what
of
the arrangement is here.
What the arrangement is here. And so he had to go.
Yeah.
Because either A, he knew about the arrangement
And didn't care.
He was like, forget the humans, I'm going to do what I want to do. We can't kind of have that kind of disrespect on our farm.
Not on our farm.
Not going to happen. You know, the Lord gave us dominion over these animals, and if they don't want to listen, we lay the smack down.
They get the axe. So, but yeah, I mean, we've had several, rat snakes that come and go.
Yeah.
And they're fine. They don't mess with us,
Mm-hmm.
But this guy was being bad.
Yep. You got to respect the rules.
Yep. So, we put enough on our farm to provide a good ecosystem.
We have a very well balanced ecosystem here between the bullfrogs, the chipmunks, the mice, the rats, the squirrels. That predators like that, they don't need to come up here.
Well, and that's what was funny is I told you when we were riding today, I was like, you know what it is? Casper's just doing too good of a job. She's taking out all of their food. So, maybe, I don't know. It's just the balance. Maybe it's just a little bit off. But
no, I think some of it may be that because I did some bush hogging, I may have run them up here a little bit.
I gotcha.
But the food barrier is still back there a little bit. It's not as thick.
Right.
But they're still back there. There's still plenty for them to eat back there. Mm-hmm. It's just they don't have as much places to hide.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
So I'll know, in the next week or so if a fox or something like that shows up. Then we may have to talk about starting to supplement Casper a little bit,
to
be able to bring the balance and stuff back around. But I'm still seeing, every now and then I'll see 3 or 4 chipmunks.
I've seen chipmunks. I've seen some rabbits still. So, I mean, any fawns in that field?
Have not seen any.
No, but
Shh.
we have a 6-foot black snake named Frank. We have the same understanding. He's keeping the bad ones away and hangs out in the shed with the motorcycles and the dirt bikes. Yeah, it's the same thing. And Jason's not kidding when he says, like, every winter he hangs out in the shop because you know, they're cold-blooded animals, and so we keep a fire going almost every day in that shop.
Well, I mean, they're working just about every day.
Right. So it stays nice and warm in there for him, and so he doesn't really like.
Yeah, and that heat also attracts
other animals.
the mice and rats.
Yeah.
And so we do have a loft up there, and we do have like Christmas decorations and stuff like that stored up there. So it's good for Charlie to come in there.
Yeah.
And hang out and get a free meal. Protects our Christmas decorations, our
a bunch of stuff.
keepsakes and whatever. So
yeah. So TJ said, "I hate chipmunks. They messed up with his."
TJ had a battle going on with some chipmunks out there in California.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway.
So we got some exciting videos coming out this week. We finished one up this morning. Very educational video coming out this
but it's funny. That's pretty funny. You actually like backed up the video like 5 times.
Yeah, that part was funny.
Hard to hit with a 9mm. Yeah. Pretty easy to hit with a car though. I'm just saying. I like rush down my driveway.
So, I know we haven't really talked about them a lot, but the Mean Girls that we got from
The
Jess,
goats.
Jess and Jeremiah. Now we did lose one. We don't know what
Not sure what happened.
to her. She didn't show any signs of trauma or anything. She just was fine running around 1 second. Her tail never drooped. Her ears never drooped.
Yeah, it was quick.
Yeah. And
Whatever it was quick.
So somebody told me she may have eaten something by mistake and got bloat, because bloat will drop them real quick.
Right.
But let me tell you something. These goats are fantastic. Phenomenal. I absolutely love these goats. We stuck them in the one area that we're going to put your outdoor kitchen, just to kind of keep the briars and the ivy and all that kind of stuff in check. And whammo, one day we had to move them. So we stuck them in a little bit of a bigger area that was a little bit thicker, and they were like, challenge accepted. Had to move them again today.
Hold my beer.
Bam! So we put them in another area that's a little bit more thick and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that I at least make it till Monday. But if not, then they're going to go across the road and go down into where our orchard's going to be.
I think that's a good move.
And that's exactly where we're going to just keep them down in there.
Yeah.
The only problem is I'm going to have to start falling trees to be able to let the sunshine get in there.
Yeah, to be able to get the charger.
The solar charger and stuff going in there. So, but these girls, they are champs, boy. And
Betty and Mama.
that we put the cattywampus babies in there now because they're over a year old. But Barney, he's still balls too. He keeps them girls in line. And
even when they got out the couple of times, like he's usually rounding them up and pushing them back. So he's usually one of the last ones in. He makes sure everybody else gets in first. So, but yeah, we did a good job with getting him. Did I miss the video of Jason consuming tofu?
See, he's hung up on this. When we hit like 15K, he brought up, at 25K, Jason eats tofu. I never agreed to it.
I don't know.
At least I don't remember agreeing to it.
I mean, tofu is disgusting. The only place tofu belongs is inside miso soup. In miso soup, it would be okay. Good night, Common Sense. Ooh,
Thanks for
4
coming
a.m.
by.
Wow. That's rough. But yeah.
Very rough.
Tofu is, what is that, bean curd, I guess?
I don't know. It's the stuff that put Andy in the hospital. He's been sick ever since.
It's not what put him in the hospital.
So, no, I ain't eating it. Goats love to eat rose bushes. We have them.
In the wild roses we have here. They also.
I wish we had wild roses. We have wild hibiscus.
Yes. They also, and they left those alone. Did
Yeah.
you see that? So, we have an area where our raspberries and blackberries are, and I think as soon as everything is harvested, that would be a really good
Yeah,
place
they're
to
gonna
put
go.
them. Yes, you did. You brought it up when Andy ate it.
See, I don't remember that. I think that was Photoshopped.
Hey, Grammy Karen, what's up? Someone asked me.
Where do you even buy tofu?
Soybean curd. There you go.
Where do you even buy tofu?
At the store. So, what you making with the new reading materials? We haven't talked about that. I forgot.
Well, right now I am in a pickle.
Why?
Well, one, we went and looked at lumber prices today. The sheet of OSB is still $50.
Which is absolutely.
A 2x4 is $11.
It went up.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's been telling me that it's going down, and ours actually has gone up.
Yeah.
The last time we saw it, it was 8 something. And
Yeah,
now
and that
it's
was
like
an
11.
untreated 2x4.
Yeah. Asian store, Jason.
You know, and so I really wanted to build the gobbledygoo thing right away, and I'll tell y'all what, we're having a get together in September. I will eat some tofu in September. I'll take one bite of tofu in September. We'll do it live with the get together crew. Now, if by September we make it to 35,000 subs, I'll eat a whole tofu burrito or whatever it is.
Ugh, it's nasty. So what are we going to make? To be completely honest, In Town Limits. So they sent us 2 books from our wish list, and one of them was for.
Oh, that one. Those
Yeah.
books. Oh, yeah. I can. Ooh.
Yeah. So the problem is that we haven't really had a chance, because of everything that's been going on. We haven't really had a chance to sit down and really look. But
Yeah.
that reminds me, that might be what I do after the show tonight. I might go cozy up with a book.
Yeah, because I got to also got a thermometer for
Yes.
the smokehouse. I got to get
Yes,
that
that was
installed.
really cool. That came too.
Yes, I cannot wait to get that installed and start smoking.
I feel like it's almost
I
time.
thought somebody was asking about the Joel Salatin book.
No, they're talking about the
Now,
bee book.
Yeah, the bee book. Now we are definitely going to be jumping knee deep in that bee book, because we lost the one hive that we tried to split. It
Yeah.
just didn't work.
Mhm.
So I got a little bit of wax from that we've got to harvest, and I checked the Super Strong Aggressive hive, and their honey super is just about completely full.
Right,
So I'm gonna have to harvest that probably within the next week or 2.
right.
I think we looked and we seen one frame
One
that's,
frame that's
has
empty.
the back. No, not empty. Just the back side of the frame
Oh, it's not.
is empty.
Okay.
So we're gonna have to pull that one day, and but we're definitely gonna have to have like the truck with us or something, so I can pick, because
Pick it up. It's gonna be
how
heavy.
aggressive they are. Pick it up, smoke it, pick it up,
Drive it down the
drive it
neighborhood.
all the way around, and then try to bring it in the house. Because these girls in that hive, they're super aggressive.
I think you should put it in the back of the truck, have the gate open, and go down to Charlie's and back. I'm serious.
With Carol in the back steadily smoking it.
I don't want to be stung. Okay, the books. Where are they? Are they on the shelf?
They're in the house on the shelf right there. In the living room on the shelf.
Okay, I'll go get them real quick.
They're amazing books. They were on our wish
On
list.
our wish list. Which, did you take them off?
Yes, I took them all. But I am super excited to get all of this wax. Go ahead and get it rendered down. and then start to. Well, I want to make candles with them first. But Robin's probably gonna want to steal the wax or something and use it in a salve. Or there's so many things to do with wax in that book that it's amazing. But I kind of want to get some of those honeybee molds, so that way you can also put the beeswax in that and make things with it, candles and whatnot. So salves, so that really cool. Well, now she left me here all alone to just bump my gums and talk. So Robin's birthday is coming up, y'all, July 21st. Last year we had a surprise birthday party for her. I don't know what I'm going to do this year. I've been racking my brain thinking about it while I've been bush hogging on Jeremiah's tractor. I really don't know what to do because we're going to be so busy trying to help them get their property ready for them to move up here, helping them move up here. And then we have the Homesteading Life Conference in the first week of August. So cash flow is going to be tight, so I'm not going to be able to do a big surprise party like I did last year. But I'm racking my brain trying to figure out what gift to get Robin this year. Because, see, the problem with Robin is when she sees something she wants, as long as it's not too expensive, she just goes and gets it.
I had to go to the bathroom.
I'm sorry. It's okay.
There they are.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Okay. Oh, I guess you're going to make me show. Okay. The first book that we got from a viewer off of our wish list, well, obviously, we showed you guys the thermometer that we got. We got the Hot Sauce Cookbook. Now, we are going to be diving knee-deep into this one when a lot of our peppers and certain herbs and stuff like that come available. So be looking from some videos coming out from this, because that is, I mean, the recipes and stuff like that are all in here. It's a very good book. It's one of the reasons why we picked it, to be able to, we're going to start making our own spices and stuff like that. This book, I can't wait for Robin to get into, but I think Robin's afraid because when we did fermented carrots, how it cleaned out my system, and I was like farting like it was my job. So,
well, to be fair, like we just harvested a bunch of garlic, and I was gonna ferment the garlic, and then I was like, maybe not a good idea.
But it's the fermented veggies book. I cannot wait for. I think Sydney and Tori had this book too. This book, I was just flipping through it with some of the stuff that they have, like a chili dog in here. They got stuff to put on the chili dog.
The whole
different
bunch
brines.
of really cool stuff. Yeah.
Just smoke, kraut, quiche.
Jason was like, "That's your book, Robin. That's for you. This is mine."
Some of this stuff looks so good. So good. Horseradish. I'm so excited about our horseradish this year. Beeswax Academy. Now, this is my book. This is going to be
Alchemy.
the bomb.com. I cannot wait to start harvesting, because this is part of my retirement plan. Remember, Big Bear's retirement plan, my retirement plan is to have like 500 hives in and around Elbert County where I can go and tend to bees, harvest the honey, be able to sell my honey a little bit on the side, and make stuff with the beeswax to be able to keep myself active.
Right.
As, as you get up there in age, you still need to be active, and I think that's what sometimes people they get to a certain age, they just don't do anymore.
Right.
And I think that ends up putting them on a fast track to go meet the Lord. But I'm going to meet the Lord when the Lord tells me he wants to meet me. And so until then, I'm going to be like, I'm rounding second, trying to steal home. That's just me. The homesteading pastor. What's up, brother? How you been? But I am super excited that once I get to start harvesting some honey, to be able to dive into this book. And
it also has a lot of stuff for the wax and different things, so we're pretty excited about that. There's a lot of different things that you can make. One of the things I like is these where you take the wax and put it on
art.
No, you put it on fabric, and you make like the plastic wrap, like instead of using.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many things.
Yeah.
Furniture polish.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can sell it in blocks to hair salons and trappers.
Yeah.
So there's so many things, and that's why when I tell people 500 hives, they're kind of like, dude,
that's a lot.
That's a lot. You're smoking crack. And I'm like, there's a big bees, in my opinion, and we've only been doing this 16 years. In my opinion, that bees are the one thing in your homestead. What's it called when you have all your investments and stuff? What's that book called?
Portfolio.
In your portfolio, honeybees are probably the most consistent and most profitable thing that you can have on your homestead. And here's why I say that. And this is how I back that statement up. You know, before the big wood crisis of 2021, you could get a starter kit from like Carolina Bee Company, who's right up the road from us, for it was like a what? About
couple
hundred and a half.
It was like $200, but it came with a suit.
Mm-hmm.
It came with the
smoker.
or not a suit. The suit made it like $300, but like it came with the smoker.
A
it
veil.
Came with the veil. It came with gloves, the hive tool, the brush.
The book.
Yeah.
And it had a bottom board, a wired bottom board. It had an entrance reducer and 2 deeps and a honey super. And they were all had frames. And then you could either order a Nuka Bees, which would cost you back then,
It was like $150
or
package bees.
Or you could back before the wood crisis, you could go spend $32 and get a sheet of plywood and make 3 or 4 swarm traps out of 1 sheet of plywood.
Yeah.
And then you could go catch your bees. And so then you're in for maybe $250, give or take, if you catch wild bees.
Right.
Now, of course, there is a learning curve,
Mm-hmm.
But if you catch a good, strong swarm, that very first season, they'll probably produce for you about 60 pounds of honey. Easy. And that's with leaving some in there for them to overwinter. In the state of Georgia, in my state alone, the average sale for a pound of honey is $12. Per pound. So if you got just 1 super and got about 60 pounds of honey.
Do the math on that.
Yeah, go ahead, do the math on that.
$720.
Bam. So you made a huge profit your first year. Now, here is the kicker. How many calories do you actually have involved? Because when you're talking about a homestead, you can when you're talking about profitability, you also have to everybody knows about money.
Right.
How much did you have to invest? With cows and stuff, it's fencing. With chickens, it's electric netting.
Also sweat equity.
And coops and whatnot. But then there's that sweat equity, burning those calories that you have to put in your homestead to build the coop, pull those fencings, maintain those fencings, feed said livestock, gather the eggs. Make sure they have water. Make sure they're, vet bills that can come along with them and stuff like that. Where with bees, once you get them established,
it's very low maintenance.
Your calorie output is once in a while going out there to do a hive inspection to make sure they don't get small hive beetles or Verona mites
And a lot of
or the queen dies or wax moths or anything like that. Because most of the time with a good strong hive, they wipe that stuff out. They take care of it themselves.
Hey, Morgan, what's up?
And so your calorie output
Right.
when taking care of them is extremely low compared to anything else.
Well, and the other thing too is I lost it. Even the type of sweat equity that you have involved with the bees, like what you're doing is just so low that, and the thing that I've heard from people is that beekeeping actually is good for the heart.
Mm-hmm.
It's good for the mind because it kind of centers you. You have to kind of be paying attention and doing what you're doing, so you have to slow down. And so I've heard that it's actually very cathartic, that it helps people. There are a lot of veterans that do beekeeping. As a matter of fact, the VA has a program for veterans to learn how to do beekeeping for part of that reason.
Yeah. So that's why I say you're probably your most profitable thing when you start looking at dollar for dollar and calorie for calorie is your honeybees. And that's why I'm going to use the honeybees as they're part of my retirement plan. When the kids are gone and Robyn and I get to a point where we can't really go out there and manage a large herd of cattle to be able to move it every day move.
We're gonna have horses at that point. We will get horses, and we'll just ride the horses to manage the cattle. Just saying.
Let me. If my old butt can't get out there and walk to open up, I have a hard time just walking out there to move the gate. What makes you think my big fat butt's gonna be able to climb up on a horse?
You'll have no problem. I'll build you a step stool to get up on it. We'll do it almost like how the milking station is.
Ladder.
Yeah. Well, they're like the milking station.
It'll be like
we'll put them up
90.
on a ramp.
I'll be like 90 years old and have to. I'll have an excavator. What's it called?
No, I'll have
that thing in the
an
mall.
elevator.
No,
escalator.
Escalator.
No, I'll have it set up so that the horse comes in, and then you have a ramp that you can walk up to where you're level with the horse, and you can sit on the horse. That's what I'm gonna do.
Y'all remember from the 80s that chair that the old people used to ride on to be able to get to the second floor, and you was like, had the little safety belt that went on. I'm gonna have that just to be able to get on a horse at 90. I was like, we gotta go move the cows. Be like, all right, here we go. The horse would be turn around, look at me like, really? That's what a side by side is for, and some good dogs.
Our mini horse could get a mini horse.
Yeah, we better have mini cows. No, but there's gonna come a point in time where either the kids or the grandkids don't want to have anything to do with it. Who knows what the world has in store for this lifestyle in 50 years.
Right.
You figure 50 years ago there was a garden in everybody's backyard, and now we're the weirdos.
Yep.
So who knows what's going to happen in 50 years.
Right.
But we all know that for food to be produced, we need pollinators. And so honeybees will always be a thing. And I have not had a single time yet.
Darren's like giving me pointers.
That when I have announced that we have honey.
It's gone.
It's gone.
As soon as we
minutes.
post it or we let everybody know,
I would
it's
almost
gone.
be willing to bet that the honey comes off the shelf faster than Meg's Meg Holler soap.
Oh, her soap. Yeah, her soap moves pretty fast.
I put it up for.
Yeah, our honey does not last long when we have it. So.
And then you got all the stuff that you can do with the wax.
Mm-hmm.
So, in my opinion, I think that's a good solid retirement portfolio to have.
Mm-hmm.
Because then when I get too old to be able to You know, even if I'm in a wheelchair, I can set my hives at a certain level. And I can wingy. Of course, my wheelchair is going to have tank tracks on it. I'll tell you that much right now.
That's all
And
it
I'm
is.
gonna have joysticks like this that I can just like I'm driving a skid steer. But who knows? 50 years from now, we may have the Rosie from the Jetsons. We may have robots going around doing everything for us.
I mean,
Yeah.
at 50 years from now, you're going to be 90 something. 96, right? Yeah, 96. You'll be pretty old.
I hope we have like the robots that are almost like Terminator-like, so that way I can have like a pig,
Like iRobot.
and I'll have a pig, and I'll name them all Sarah Connor, so that way the robot can go, "Oh, you Sarah Connor."
You're so messed up. So messed up.
John Connor.
So, yeah, so we're definitely starting to keep aging in place in mind, especially now that the girls are getting older and reminding us every day that they only have a few years.
Well, it's not that. Carol's always, every time I won't let Carol get away with something, she's like, "It's okay.
3 years.
I'm going to put you in a home. It's going to be a home run by Democrats." or I'm going to find the cheapest home
Yeah.
to put you in.
Yeah, she'll say that. I've heard her say that before.
Yeah. And so, but Ladessa has already said that she's taken over the homestead, but she's going to turn it into
A sanctuary.
A sanctuary.
Yep.
So
She is enamored with a guy that I follow on Instagram. His name is like Dan. Dan McKerna is his name. And I think he has a background where he had some addiction issues. And so he came to this farm and started, taking care of animals. And so now he just takes in a bunch of different animals, and he'll post stuff about, with like a cow laying down and just like petting him on the head, and she's very much has that kind of an idea of what's going to happen, and she's just going to be able to go out in the middle of the pasture and just lay down, and all the cows are going to love on her, and the goats are going to love on her, which really at this point right now
they kind of
already happened. So great information to think about. What is Robyn's plan?
to live off my honey.
So Darren said George Jetson gets born next year, if you go by the storyline. So Rosie isn't that far away. Our kids always remind us that they get to pick our nursing home. Yeah, Carol reminds us quite frequently. She'll say, "Remember, I get to pick." Is there any more Carol art up for grabs? I don't really know. I know that she turned to making grapevine baskets a while back, and I haven't taken pictures of those because we didn't have anything pretty to put in them to take pictures of. But now we've got like squash and different things like that, so I could take pictures
she takes
of her
them out there and
baskets.
she harvests the blackberries with them, the raspberries with them,
Yeah.
the squash.
We've got
with
some
them.
beautiful grapevine baskets. She's made some really cool looking
Yeah, we're gonna be
baskets.
and she's gonna be making those every year.
Yeah.
I
But
think
I
that's
will
very
check with her. I don't
therapeutic
know
for
as
her.
far as she hasn't been painting a lot lately.
Well, we haven't. Well, that's not really fair. The last 2-3 weeks has been just straight up.
For everybody. It's been
hectic
straight
here.
ever since Memorial Day. Ever since Memorial Day weekend. So almost a month now. It has been. We had a little bit of respite for like less than a week because
like
then
4 or
he
5
was
days.
right back. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's because you jinxed it. You
No, I
said it.
didn't.
You said it in the video, and it went like 2 days after that video. Bam.
No.
No. So I don't. Has the last time that we did anybody has anybody even gotten their art?
You know, Brenda, it was really funny. Brenda was here and then left and forgot it.
Yeah.
I think
I think Mama Z got hers.
I don't know. She may not have.
I think she did.
Because she was here too. And didn't get hers.
I think she got it because I don't even know where they are now.
I'll
That's why I
have to
think
check
most
with
of
her
them
and see.
are already gone.
Yeah, I know. Anna told me to hold off on sending hers.
Yeah.
But I have to check with her and see.
Yeah.
Wants to put me in a home when I turn 50 next year.
Well, you know, I was talking with my aunt, and she said getting old is not for sissies.
No, definitely not for sissies. Well, and one thing that I'm like doing the math in my head, you know, yeah, she didn't get hers either, and she left without because she was here. Like we completely forgot because we were gonna give everybody theirs when they were here because Brenda came at one point, Misty came, but what were we just talking about? What were we just saying? I don't even remember. Oh well, I got distracted. My eyes hurting.
It's not my job to remember things.
I know.
Okay, well, we need to get Mama, because Mama Z's not going to be able to make it this September. Because
Yeah, I've got her
surgery.
address somewhere, so I'll send hers to her.
I know Mimsy's Garden told us to hold because I think she's trying to do a surprise and come up and see us when she can, or at least she was before everything went sideways. And who did the third one go to?
Brenda Duncan was.
Brenda Duncan.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
And she also said she's going to try.
Well, she was going to come. Right. When she came, she was going to pick it up, and then we all visited, and then
gone.
she left and completely forgot about it. That's what she was saying. I didn't even think about it. So I'll have to get that from her and get those done. Because part of the other thing was that she was supposed to sign them, and that's what it is. About timing on work. So I started thinking about it. You know, our mortgage. You know, mortgage is typically 30 years, and we bought the house when you were 40, right? Because that was your goal, was to be.
I thought I got it before 40.
I don't know. Anyway, the way I look at it, by the time we're 70, it'll be paid off. If we don't pay off anything quick, you know, if we don't pay it off any quicker than that. So I was like, okay, well, if we make it to 70, then the house is paid off, everything's good, and then we can, you know, let the kids come through, do what they want to do. Apple didn't fall far from the tree on that job. So, yeah, Deanna's right. Like, you have 20 plus years of work still. Yeah. Because I'm 40, I'll be 44 next month.
Well, see, doing what I do now around here is not really work to me.
Oh, wow. April said they just paid their last house payment. Awesome.
Nice. Congrats. That's our big one. That's the one that we're starting to try
It's
to.
the only one we have right now. So.
But even though after having Sweet Maya's tractor here, we kind of realized, okay,
we're going to have to get a tractor.
we're going to have to bite that bullet. But, you know, I thought, I'm just going to get a John Deere. Makes, they last forever, blah, 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 you know. But then you said you saw somebody that said something about a Kubota.
Right, so
and the parts being
right,
reasonable. And Jeremiah's is a Kubota, and you know what? That really, I mean, it would definitely have to be the next size up. But
yeah, a customer of mine, I was down in Augusta, and you know, the John Deere, there's a plant in Augusta. And so he was planning, and he had friends that work at John Deere, He was planning on buying one there, but then he started doing a side-by-side comparison, and he found that John Deere is not set up to be owner-maintained. It is set up to be dealer-maintained. And he said that when he started looking at Kubota parts versus John Deere parts, he said the John Deere part and the Kubota part are both made by Bosch, okay? Which is a semi-local company around here too, which makes sense. And the same part, you know, John Deere puts a special pigtail on there so that it makes it theirs. But it's essentially the exact same part. This part for John Deere would be like $500, and this part would be like $120. So it was like this huge difference in prices on parts and maintenance and all that stuff. And so at the end of the day, it seems like, and then the other thing is availability, being able to get hands on those parts, because it's kind of set up to be dealer maintained. Because even when you went to go for the riding lawnmower,
the ignition coils
mm-hmm.
with John Deere, that was an official John Deere part. They were like $80 a piece.
right?
And I said, okay. I said, what about some aftermarket parts? This is not a spring chicken lawnmower. And so he found them, and they were like $50 a piece. But he gave me a military discount and whatnot, and I ended up out of there for under $100. But it's still, I have a little bit of an issue with them changing like one wire nut or one this or one that,
just to be proprietary,
just to be able to charge out the wazoo for their stuff.
Yeah, we have Mahindra over here. Mahindra tractors have been here. They've been here for a while. That's the red one.
Yeah, that's the red one that I've been looking at some right on the outskirts of Bowman when I used to go up there and work maintenance at an apartment complex. I was always eyeballing them going,
yeah.
You know, but at the end of the day, you know, we're going to sit down when it gets closer to time and we got our finances where we want them. We're gonna pull them out, and we're gonna be John Deere, Kubota, and the red one.
Right.
And we're gonna compare apples to apples, oranges to oranges.
Yeah.
Because as long as my hand still works and my brain still works, I enjoy going out there and tinkering. That's why I haven't sold that 8N yet. Now, granted, you know, I could probably, if I had the financial backing and the time, I could go out there and make that 8N working and probably have it working within like 2 to 3 weeks. I got to rebuild the motor completely, and that's absolutely no problem. You know, it's just time.
Parts and time.
Because from my understanding with that 8N tractor, in the cylinders, there's a sleeve that if anything goes bad, because it was designed for the farmer to be able to break it completely down and rebuild it if you had to. And so that sleeve is supposed to slide right out, and then you slide a new one down in there. The problem with that tractor is now that it's 1954, the parts are all, it seems like every time I turn around, $200, $250, $300.
Yeah.
Like the radiator on it is like $200, and I need a new one of those. The aftermarket carburetor, which everybody says don't rebuild, and I heard this after I rebuilt that carburetor. They say don't rebuild that carburetor because it just doesn't fix the issues. Buy the aftermarket carburetor and you're golden.
And just use that.
But that's $250. You know, so
it's gonna $250 today.
You know, you always hear about cars and stuff nickel and diming you. Well, that tractor is like $250 nickel and diming me to death. You know, and that will be one of my projects that I'll work on here and there. You know, if I sell a couple of cutting boards, I may go buy the carburetor. If I sell a couple more, I'll buy the radiator. I'll buy the rebuild kit for the motor. You know, and I really want to break it all down. I want to kind of strip all the paint and stuff off of it, and I want to just redo it all nice. And then if I can turn around and sell it for $20,000-$30,000, so be it. If not, I'll just still have a nice little cool tractor to tinker around on, and
You
have
take
that
the grandkids on a
hayride.
with it.
Because one of the things we do want to do is open this place up for like farm tours and stuff, especially for special needs. So I'm gonna end up needing the side by side, another tractor, and maybe even a second tractor to be able to pull kids sitting on square bales
Right, exactly.
as we go around the homestead.
Right.
So
That would be a perfect
that'd be a perfect little
application for that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I always got something going on here, whether it's woodworking or tinkering with this or tinkering with that.
Right.
And that's just all about being more self-reliant, more self-sufficient.
Sure.
How much more can you do and you produce and not be a consumer? You can produce
Right.
and do things on your own, and
Instead of having a big carbon footprint.
yeah.
Right. So.
Yeah, because if I had to send this to somebody, then I've got to find somebody that'll come, pick it up with a trailer,
Right. Haul it to
haul
where it
it
has
over
to
there,
go.
get it fixed, haul it back.
Yep.
And then plus, it's robs me a little bit of my joy.
That's true too.
But the thing is, though, you can only do stuff like that in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Because any other time, you're rotating pastures, you're gathering eggs, you're planting a garden, you're weeding a garden, you're watering a garden, and so you have to pick your hobbies,
Right.
so to speak, in times where you can actually, be able to focus on that.
TJ said, I'm eating the squash I grew. I think it tastes better because I did it. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
We actually had squash for dinner tonight. Carol made fried squash.
Yo, yo, yo.
And they were really good. She sliced them really thin on the mandolin, and then, she's going to make somebody a very happy person when she starts feeding, because
It's one of the things that I find interesting. Our kids, when we first start making them cook at 11, 12, 13,
9.
they go, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to. But then they hit that stride at like 16, just like with Blaze.
She needs to make pork watermelon tacos.
Oh, shit. And they hit this stride with it where I don't know if they finally embraced the suck, or they're like, my parents are going to make me cook anyway because they want to make sure I can know how to cook to be able to take care of my own, because that's one of your...
That's my big hang
That's one of your things.
Good night, Karen.
And so they hit about 16, and I hear them all say the same thing. No, I want to cook. I want to cook. Dessa doesn't want to cook. I'll cook.
I'm cooking tonight.
And I asked Carol, so how come you don't want to cook it? She's like, I really enjoy it. She kind of got a little snippy with me where I almost headbutted her. She's like, I just really enjoy cooking. And it was so funny because Blaze said the same thing, and he was like, cooking is my art. I paint with flavors.
With flavors, yeah.
And now Carol hasn't come out and said those exact same words.
But it's the same concept.
It's the same concept.
It's self-expression.
And
the way she
Carol,
thinks.
in my opinion, Carol has surpassed Blaze. Because Blaze couldn't do fried squash like that.
Blaze was different. Blaze had to follow a recipe.
Yeah.
Carol does not.
Yeah, and that's why I say Carol...
I have to tell y'all a really funny story real quick. This past week, when I wasn't feeling good and they all wanted something for lunch, I wanted to do something quick, so I wasn't like... It was either me go out there and help them in the fields or me stay in the house and stay cool and relax so I didn't overwork myself, so I offered to cook lunch. Well, we were going to have, was it egg salad maybe, or tuna or something that needed mayonnaise. It was the sandwiches, the meat sandwiches.
Yeah.
So we needed mayonnaise and we were out, and I was like, I'll make some mayonnaise. So I hit up Shayla for making lemonade from lemons, because I was pretty sure she had done it, and she's like, no, I don't have it. So I looked it up on YouTube, and I even like past YouTube went into just Google just to see a written recipe, and everywhere I was seeing was like, you have to do it in this order, and you have to do this, and you have to do that. And I remember Jason telling me that the reason why we didn't have mayonnaise in the house anymore is because we don't need to buy it because we can make it. And so Carol's the one that makes it. So I'm sitting there, I've put all the ingredients and meticulously followed these instructions, and it's not emulsifying. It will not emulsify. And it's like, just pour a couple of drops of the oil, So I'm doing that. Finally, it hits me like a ton of bricks. I'm like, I don't understand this. If Carol can make this mayonnaise, there has to be a way for, like, how did she do this? And then I thought about it, and I was like, Carol doesn't have the patience to do that. So I tossed all the oil in, hit it with the immersion blender, and voila, mayonnaise. And so I was like, see, that's how you know that's how you know you really know your children. Because I was like channeling her going, there's no way she did it this way. She dumped that in there and went zip, zip, and it was done. And sure enough, the minute I tossed it in there, I hit it with the immersion blender, and it was like, mayonnaise. I was like, this is ridiculous. You food vloggers should be ashamed of yourself. That's all I got to say about that. Yeah, now everybody's like, yeah, we all make our own mayonnaise. I was sick that day, y'all, and the only reason I asked Shayla was because her name had popped up on Marco. So I, like, very quickly just hit her up, and she's like, no. And just like April said, I think Jess has a good recipe. But at that point, I was just like, I was already so pissed off because it was like, it was really
no. What
bad.
she told me is she got mad. If my 16-year-old daughter can make this, and I'm gonna be able to make it too. There's no way that she's gonna be able to make this, and I'm not gonna be able to make it.
Well, no, that wasn't the way it was.
That was that whole female.
No, it really wasn't. I was just like, it was just occurred to me. Like, I'm like, okay, wait a minute. If Carol has made this successfully a lot, and she never complained about it being hard or difficult or anything like that, I was like, she didn't do that. There's no way. She was like, drop. There's no way. My child would be like, zip, 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 mayonnaise. So I did that, and we had mayonnaise. So anyway, that's my funny story for the night. All right. Oh, Darren asked what recipe. I was talking about watermelon pork tacos. Blaze loves Guy Fieri, and we bought him some books from Guy Fieri for Christmas one year when he first started getting into wanting to cook. And he had done lamb and a whole bunch of other beer cheese soup and things like that. And he...
one of the major differences between the way Blaze cooks and the way that Carol cooks is ingredients, spices, different things to add flavor.
Well, I think their palates are probably different too. You know, how he processes flavor versus how she did.
Yeah, and Blaze was afraid to put alcohol and stuff in it. Carol's Irish blood comes in, and she's like, nah, let's put some Jameson in there. Cloop, cloop.
No, she doesn't. But, like, she's been known to, like, put a roast in the oven or in the crock pot and a shot of Jameson in there and just let it cook. So, and she loves to cook with beer. She'll put, she loves, like, Brunswick stew and stuff like that. She'll put
for example, I bought a 6-pack of Guinness for myself. I very rarely go out and buy myself beer. I may buy a 6-pack once a year.
Yeah.
But I'm having to kind of buy it twice a year to be able to have 2 beers.
Yeah,
because Carol will be like, oh, there's
with
beer to cook with. Dum, 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 dum. and
Yeah.
she'll cook with my Guinness.
Yeah.
And I want to be mad, but you
It
can't.
always tastes amazing.
It's
so,
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like she did a roast one time with some Guinness, and
Mhm.
Guinness is not cheap.
Mm-mm.
You know, Guinness is like $10-11 for a 6-pack, and but it was so good.
Yeah.
It was so good. It's like I want to be mad at you, but I can't.
No, because the alcohol, especially with the beer, helps break down. Like
Yeah.
with it's really good to cook like steaks, not steaks, but like your meats that are a little bit tougher that need a little bit of love. So like your beef stew meat
Uh-huh.
and roasts and things like that.
Mm.
And that's what she does. She'll take like some cream of mushroom and a Guinness.
Yeah. And she does it with beef tongue for beef tongue tacos
Yeah.
too, and that really does not make because tongue is very tough.
Yeah.
Beef tongue is very tough.
Yeah.
And but it does help that make it not as bad.
Mm-hmm.
But
So-
yeah, I honestly, you can't change my mind that at 16, if you compare what Blaze was doing at 16 and what Carol's doing at 16, Carol is so much further along
Yeah.
than what Blaze is because she's not afraid to experiment where Blaze little was. So I really, to be honest with you, I really can't wait till Odessa gets there.
Yeah.
Because
She's
I'm going to
starting-
get fat. I'm probably going to be like 6,000 pounds when Ladessa gets
Larissa
there.
starts cooking.
Because Ladessa's already a boss when it comes to baking and doing sourdough.
Yeah, well, like even the pancakes that we had this morning, she made the mix. Like we don't buy a pancake mix; we make our own. So she makes the pancake mix, and since they were out doing chores this morning, I went ahead and whipped up the pancakes, and they were really good.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right, it's 10 o'clock.
It's 10 o'clock. I'm yawning.
Yep, me too.
So we got a busy day tomorrow.
Yes, we do. So, all right. Guys, thanks for hanging out with us and visiting with us. It was nice to see you guys all again. Sorry it's been a couple weeks, but we've had a lot going on.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So speaking of that, so if you guys are not a part of the Big Bear Nation on Facebook, and I want to invite you to come on over there and hit the join button. But here's the thing: we had a lot of people that requested to join the nation over this last week. But between myself and Deanna and a couple of the other moderators, we had to turn a lot of people away. We have security questions in there, and they're in there for a reason, because we want that place to be a safe place, and we don't want to have trolls or bots and other
Right.
people just coming in there and making inappropriate comments and stuff and whatnot in there. So you have to answer all those questions. If you're on your phone, make sure you scroll down. There is 3-4 questions.
Yeah,
But
there's
I'll put it
3,
through
I
this.
think.
The very last question is always, do you agree to follow the rules? Once you click yes on that one and you've answered the other 2,
Good to go.
you're good to go. And look, be creative with your answers. That's what I do when I try to join a group. I try to be creative
Yeah.
and make the moderator or whatnot laugh a little bit, so that 1, they know that I'm human, and 2, they get to know a little bit about me.
Right.
Because I do read, like it says, how'd you hear about the Big Bear Nation? I do read them, and then the other one is, are you subscribed?
Right.
us
You follow us on any
on
social
the other
media.
ones. I read all that stuff.
Hmm.
So come on over there, because that's going to be the spot where we post if we're not going to be able to make it on live. That's going to be the first place, and then Robyn's been putting it in the community tab here on YouTube, and so.
Well, and the other thing, if you haven't liked our Big Bear Homestead page, and if you're not on Instagram but you do use Facebook, definitely check out the actual Big Bear Homestead page, because when I post my Instagram pictures on Instagram, I also send it to Facebook. So for those of you that don't use Instagram, you'll
Now
still be able to see.
There is 2 Big Bear Homestead Facebook pages out there. Look for the one that has the Instagram pictures on it because that's the one Robyn's talking about. The other one got taken over by a troll.
Yeah, that we haven't been able to do anything about yet.
That we haven't been able to do. We lost that one like 6-7 years ago, and Facebook is still not helping us out with that one. It had like 2,000, 3,000 likes on it, and then the troll took it over. So
if you look at the thumbnail of what we have, our channel art, it should be the exact same channel art on the Facebook page. So it should have like the little white fence with the, all that stuff on there. So
we also have Instagram and TikTok.
Yep.
We're not very active on TikTok yet, but we're slowly getting to be. I wish I could be like, oh my God. My mind just went. Donald. See, it just took me a second. Donald from Copper Kettle Farms did a TikTok. He did the Sandlot Challenge. And oh my word, if you have, matter of fact, Crystal, put the link to that
it's
in
hilarious.
The chat room right now.
Yeah, it's really
That
funny.
is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
A lot of folks have been doing this Sandlot Challenge. And if you don't know what the Sandlot Challenge is, it's basically the part where the dog
starts chasing after. Yeah.
After him. Oh,
Jason needs to dance
my
more for TikTok.
Lord, Donald did his. You have to watch it.
Yeah,
You have to
it's
watch
funny.
it. It is hilarious. I watched it like 7 times. Because his facial expressions and everything are just perfect.
Koppelketter.
Okay, keep on.
All right. Tell everybody good night, honey.
So we covered all the bases.
Yep. I think so.
And so, guys, thank you for coming and hanging out with us tonight in both live streams. Sorry about the little hiccup in the beginning, but hey, you got an extra hour out of us tonight.
Yeah.
So there's that. Remember to recycle, reuse, repurpose. Keep things out of the landfill, and that is definitely a skill that is probably going to become more and more valuable here in the future as prices of lumber
Certain things
keep
go
going
up.
up, prices of metal going up,
Yeah.
and all kinds of things. So learn how to reuse things and repurpose them. That's definitely a skill. Think outside the box.
Yep.
So, be kind to one another because you never know what's going to happen. You could be here one moment and gone the next. So be kind to one another. So Robyn and I remind you to plant smiles,
Grow giggles.
and harvest the love, baby. Yeah.
You always make me laugh with that.
Because I'm drop dead sexy. Y'all have a wonderful evening, and we will see you guys, well, in the next video. But
Right.
we'll then see you live next time.
Yep.
Y'all have a wonderful night, wonderful weekend.
Good night,
God
y'all.
bless. God bless.
This is for all of you that are still in the chat room. I just want to say we really appreciate y'all coming tonight. We hope y'all are safe. Don't forget to drink a lot of water out there in the heat because you can get dehydrated really fast. Summer's coming and it's supposed to be a warm and hot summer. So make sure you're pounding that water. Robyn, do you have anything you want to say? Robyn says no, she doesn't want to have anything else to say.